Hello, everybody. This is Coach Joanne, and it's day 2 of the boot camp, the Purposeful Life by Design boot camp. And guess what? I am here to help you wrap up Q1 in style. So as I wait for Facebook to notify you that I'm live, let me just make sure that we are together. Let me know that we are together. Let me know that you are streaming in. Let me know where you are streaming in from. But I just want to make sure that we are live inside the community. Let me know that you can see me. Let me know that you can hear me. I just want to make sure that we are here. Let me see if I can hear myself. Excellent. Looks like we are here. Please let me know in the chat that you're with me so that I can see that, so I can be sure that you guys are seeing me, you're hearing me, and that we are together. Just say hello so that I can know who's with me. So presence yourself, just let me know, say hello. That way it will also bring to the attention of others that I am live. So say hello. And as we wait for your hellos and I wait for you guys to come in, I just want to again acknowledge everybody who was with me on day 1, which was yesterday. And I want to say this, I don't take it for granted. You could be doing anything. You could be having dinner with your family. You could be sleeping. You could be watching news. You could be, going for a walk. You could be doing anything, but you made the decision to join me. So I want to acknowledge you because that shows me that you're someone who takes this whole business seriously. You're not playing with your Q2. You're not playing with your Q1. You are committed to this process, that what you begin, you will complete. Many people start things, but they do not continue with them. Many people sign up for things and they're like, oh, I'm going to do day 1. Let's see how it goes. Just taking it lightly, but you're not that sort of person because I can see you and I can see that you are committed to this. And before I go right through, let me see. Hello, Salome. Hello, Rosie. Nice to see you, my darlings. I want to share a document that I give to you guys. I don't know if you've seen it, and if you haven't said hi yet, please say hi. I want you to go to Lioness Rising, but don't, because you're watching me right now. I'm going to turn my screen and see if I can share it with you because I opened it. And this is the document I promised you guys yesterday. This is a gift from me to you. So let me just confirm that I have it ready so that you guys can see it, and then I can go straight to being a teacher. I can go straight to teaching. So let's go. So this is the document. And if you can see it, let me know you can. It's inside the group. I had it done last night, and it's my gift to you because we need to see if you're in alignment as we move into Q2. It's inside the community. So just look out for it. And basically what it is, ladies, is an assessment for you to see how in alignment you are in readiness for Q2. Remember, we spoke yesterday about how your values, your purpose, your intentions must all be in the same direction. Otherwise, where there's a miscongruence, destiny will just pass you by. You will be floundering about, and we spoke about that because I said, if you really get to the root of your purpose, that is where it is your money maker, and purpose is your anchor. But if there's a misalignment, there will be many times you will struggle. So let's look at this. So alignment is really about matching up your actions with your vision and that extended or expanded version of yourself. And what I have done is created for you guys this document so that you can see how prepared you are for Q2. So before I even go deeper into this document, because you're going to read it on your own time, I want to just for a moment hear from those who are already here with me. Put for me in the chat, ladies. Hi, E.T., welcome today to Hi, Sheila. Put for me in the chat right now one word to sum up Q1, because today we are wrapping up Q1. I just want you to use one word for me. I need to sip some water. Wrap up, put for me a word to describe your Q1. Can someone share that for me? Q1, one word for you. How has it been? Right? And be as honest as possible, because that way we'll be able to help you prepare for Q2. So if it has, just a phrase, a word, just to hear what it has been for you, exciting, or, has it shaken you? Has it inspired you? Was it an active one for you? Did you do what it is that you wanted to do? So I'm waiting for you to put in the chat just one sentence, because we are wrapping it up. We are wrapping Q1 up. And what we're doing in these 3 days is preparing for Q2. But for you to move into the next thing, you have to wrap the thing up. Like, you have to be like, we are done with this. Now we are moving and forging forward. So for Edith, her one word is success. So her Q1 was successful. What about you? I want to see it in the chat, ladies, so that we can see what you guys are saying. And as you put yours, because I've seen Edith has put hers, I'm gonna continue with showing you the document, right? And I want you to think about, based on how the month, how the quarter was, how satisfied, this is your contentment assessment. How satisfied do you feel with the relationships in your life? Because I mentioned that a big part of your purpose is being fulfilled. If you watched yesterday's video, you will remember it's about fulfillment. It's about alignment. It's about feeling very safe with what you're doing, anchored and grounded. So how satisfied do you feel with the relationships in your life? How satisfied do you feel with your work life? And you can, you will choose, right? How satisfied do you feel with your leisure and play life? Because you have a life outside of work, you have a life outside of your business. How do you feel about this? Because once you get this contentment assessment, it will help you gear up. You'll see where you're very dissatisfied, you'll see where you're neutral, you'll see where you're very satisfied. And in the areas where you're not satisfied or you're neutral, we will work towards raising those up in the coming quarter. So for Sheila, Q1 was very slow. Thank you for your honesty. I really appreciate that. For Rose, her Q1 has been fulfilling. I love that. As she shared yesterday, she got her first client. For Edith, her success in achieving business, personal development, and spiritual goals. That is awesome. So when you come to this document that I shared in the group, you will choose the different areas as I've shared. How do you feel with yourself as a person? Are you happy? Do you feel you have done that which you said you're going to do? How do you feel around your finances? How are you managing your money? Are you satisfied? Are you neutral? Are you very satisfied? And again, in this Q1, what's the impact you've made and the value you've given? Ladies, this is deep work. I want you to sit down with it, because once you get into your contentment assignment, your contentment assessment, you can be able to define and decide how you want Q2 to look like, right? How satisfied do you feel with your environment and the conditions in your life? And I'm going to teach, because once you get into the gist of what I'm going to speak about today, you'll understand why this contentment assessment is very important, because you're then able to feel where the gaps are and then place them. For Wangeshi, hi Grace, nice to see you. For her, it was a challenging and busy Q1. So she sees that. So Grace, like at number 7, how satisfied do you feel with your environment and the conditions in your life? So you guys see how this comes together about your health and fitness. I really want you to do this. How satisfied are you in your love life? And listen, if you don't have a partner, or other half or anything like that. Just generally, even your relationships with others. How satisfied do you feel with your personal development, the work that we are doing today? That the personal development is you working on you. Are you happy with that? The wisdom you've gained, the learnings you've made. I was speaking with a client this morning, and one of the things she shared with me was she feels there are areas she feels she could have done better, but one thing she says is that she's gotten so much wisdom, she's gotten so many learnings that she's going to use to help her catapult her forward. And I asked her leading questions. I asked her, okay, define to me because you said there's something missing, the thing missing that she shared with me, what would have made that complete? And we realized, we looked at the areas of misalignment and were able to pinpoint that this is where she needs to pay attention to in Q2. So I'm just giving you this overhead so that you in a way, you can start preparing yourself, right? So your personal development, the wisdom you gained, the learnings you've made. I always say nothing is wasted, no experience is wasted. How confident do you feel about your ability to handle life? That's a very important question, ladies. How are you handling your life? Are you emotional and all over the place over anything? Someone, answers you the way they want, you take it so personally. Your children make a little mistake, you're almost biting them and chewing them. Something goes off on one side of your life and you start telling people how screwed up your life is, how not happy you are with your life. But that's just one isolated thing. You have everything you need. Your family is fine. Nobody is sick. You're okay. But you're looking at one isolated incident or one area of your life and then lumping everything into that and saying that you're not satisfied with your life. That's what I mean by your ability to handle life. Do you feel confident? Do you feel somewhat unconfident? Do you feel neutral? Are you just there? Or you're very confident? Very important. No experience is ever wasted, Chantal, however difficult it is. And hi, thanks for joining me, Chantal. How do you feel with your emotional capacity and resilience in all life areas? I want you to be honest with yourself, because I find that sometimes we are either very harsh on ourselves, or sometimes we can be extremely lenient on ourselves, that you just give yourself a pass for anything. You're not pulling your weight, you're not giving any effort, you're not doing, and you say, it's okay, that's how life is. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. There's a gap. And the moment you sit down and say, and I want you to write that in the chat, it's not okay. If it's not okay, it's not okay. Don't pat yourself on the shoulder when you know that there's a deeper lingering issue. And ladies, if you have your friends who were meant to join in, they're probably not finding the video, tag them, let them know we are live, because sometimes the video takes long to show up in the feed. And if you tag them, it will be able to raise what we call the algorithm, and your people will be able to join. So I just wanted to throw that in there as I'm speaking. I want to ask you, how satisfied do you feel with your ability, right, to accept and surrender when things don't go your way? Sometimes you just have to accept. And many people are just hitting their head against the wall for things that are against there are things that are just not in your control. It's as simple, it's all within your control, but you're banging your head and almost killing yourself over something that is not, you cannot change it. It is what it is. It has happened. How satisfied do you feel with your ability to accept and surrender when things do not go your way? Because let me tell you what, we're not spoiled little children here. You'll go to the supermarket and your child will throw a tantrum over why you've not bought them that lollipop, and they will get over it. Here we are, adult women. How are we handling our emotions? How are we handling our feelings, or not handling them at all? So I want you to really get clear with this process. As I said, this document is inside the Facebook group, so you will be able to take it, print it, do whatever you want, but make sure you do the work. How satisfied do you feel with the balance between your work and play? Sometimes I find for myself, there's a mismatch. Occasionally I will go overboard in my work, and never on my play, but on my work, that I'm working. Where is that balance, right? How satisfied do you feel with your level of abundance? I know people who are very blessed, but they do not see that. Everything to them is poverty minded. You know, they see the lack rather than anything. You have money, you're okay, your children are in school, you have more than enough, but in your head you're thinking, what do I not have? And let me tell you this is a very, very big problem I've witnessed with people, that you're looking at what, oh, I don't have this, I don't have the other, yet you know full well that you're blessed, more blessed than most. Say, I'm more blessed than most. Rose says, it's not okay. It's admit when things are not okay. Let's be transparent with ourselves. Rosie says, coaching helped me learn how to accept when things don't go my way. No means the next opportunity was an important lesson. That's what I always teach my clients, that no, don't be a spoiled brat and take no as rejection. No is not rejection. No could even be not now, it's next time. No could mean, as I said, next opportunity. And Rosie, thank you for reminding us of that lesson. So another one is, how satisfied do you feel with your level of giving, or are you just a take person? Something is offered, they are grabbing it with both hands, but there's no way you'll ever give of yourself in any way. You're always on the receiving end, but never on the giving. This is so important, to be honest with yourself and to admit to yourself from the offset. And then, how satisfied do you feel with the progress you have made in your life? And we're going to talk deeper into this, because I realize as we go into the dimensions of fear, many women hold themselves back from moving forward by things that could easily be changed. But just because you see things from your own lens, you've not allowed anybody else into your life to give you any feedback. You know it all. You feel, and again, no judgment. I'm just sharing what I've seen and experienced, even with myself. Sometimes you have to let people in, because they will see things from a very unbiased lens. I'm not talking about your friends. I'm not talking about your mom. I'm not talking about those people who know you like that. I'm talking about, do you have an unbiased person? Do you have a mentor? Do you have a coach? Someone who is neutral, who will be able to call you out on your own BS, who will be able to call you out when you're not doing the things that you said you're going to do. Hi, Mom B. Nice to see you. Welcome, my love. And ladies, if you've not said, say hello. I love seeing your hellos. That tells me that we are together. How satisfied do you feel with a sense of purpose and meaning in your life? We went deep into this yesterday. So yesterday, day one, I took you ladies into this stuff. If you haven't watched day one's teaching, please do it, because that's the foundation. That's the cornerstone. That's what you need to help you move into day two and day three tomorrow. Because as I said, this information will really help you in terms of also getting that clarity as to what you need for this coming Q2. When you think about your future, how inspired do you feel? Say the truth. Very uninspired, somewhat inspired, neutral, somewhat inspired. Be honest. When you think about your future, you're excited about it, or you're like, meh, I wish things could be better. I wish. No. How do you feel right now? So leading to the next one, finally, how satisfied do you feel with your life right now? And I want to hear that one in the chat from the options I've given you there. Be honest with yourself. Are you satisfied, somewhat satisfied, very dissatisfied? Be honest, or you're neutral. I want to see it in the chat, because that's a very important question. And then you'll be able to add up your score and see where you stand with that. And then we talked through this bit. I'm just gonna rush through it because we did this work yesterday. I made this document for you so that you can be able to do this work for yourself. Where do you feel out of alignment right now? Where do you feel constricted, restricted, dissatisfied? Be honest with yourself. Then I want you to write down 3 top areas where you feel misaligned, because you're going to be working in these areas in the coming quarter. Where are you feeling, whether it's your career, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, whether you're yo-yoing even in your different areas of your life. You're in a job today, you're not in a job tomorrow. What's that? What's happening? There must be something going on there. All right. And then what would a stronger alignment look like? And what actions and steps will help you move forward with this? So I want you to be honest with yourself. What's a misaligned area? An area that is not working for you? Then put the alignment rating from 1 to 10, the misaligned reasons, and then how will you create a stronger alignment in it? And then the actions you will take part. So I'm going to stop with this document right now, because you have it inside it's in the portal, it's in the Facebook group. Download it, sit with this stuff today, tomorrow, so that you can be able to be honest with yourself. It's available to you, right? The 3 areas that we've talked about. And then remember, the key to alignment is truly wanting alignment. You've got to want it. You've got to desire it. Before any achievement, any outcome or result, you have to start from that state of being, saying, I want to be this. And then I'm going to do the actions. I'm going to take the actions that will then help me have the desired result, right? So when you take action, remember I talked about this yesterday, when you're taking inspired action, action that is taken from an aligned state is joyful and often effortless. You won't feel like you're throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping it sticks. You're in your element. And when you identify the misalignments, accept them, work on them. As I shared with you yesterday, you cannot ignore what is happening. And thank you so much, Nyambura, for tagging your friend. It's important. It's important. Where can you get the recording for day 1? It's here. And remember, ladies, the recordings will be going down at the end of next week. So take time to watch them before we take them down. So it's in the group. Chantal, you'll be able to see them. So in the steps to finding alignment, again, we talked about this, be aware, stepping into an awareness. How are you feeling right now during the day? Take moments to ask yourself, how do I feel? And we're going to go deeper into this stuff. And then today, I'm going to talk about this acceptance. Stop judging your feelings. What you feel is what you feel. Stop bypassing, suppressing, resisting. And that's why I said it's okay to feel that way. And Rosie is the only person who put it in the chat, interestingly. When I said, say, it's okay, I'm not okay. It's okay not to be okay. Don't quash, don't numb, because I find that many people numb their emotions and numb their feelings. Then acceptance is, as I said, acceptance is avoiding judging your feelings, is what I've talked about. Simply accept and allow whatever you feel. What you feel is what you feel. And then I talked about the alignment piece. So go get this document. It is available for you inside the document. When you practice acceptance, it's through fully accepting yourself and others first. And then fully accepting all of your emotions. How are you feeling? Because today we're going to talk about fear. If you're feeling fearful right now, because I found fear is the biggest thing. It's the biggest obstacle to women living out their purpose and really going all in what it is that they've decided. And then noticing whenever resistance arises. Why are you starting something? Why do you start something and then you leave it halfway? Why do you put the cake in the oven and then halfway you give up? You're like, oh, this cake is taking too long to bake. I'm using the cake as an analogy. You know what I'm talking about. You're so, you're quick to dismiss something without giving it a chance. Why is this resistance coming in? And then notice when you dwell on feelings, whether, positive or negative, more so the negative feelings. If someone makes you feel some way, ask yourself, why is it bothering you like that? Why is it affecting you to the extent that you can hardly think? And then remember, when you shift into alignment, you're actually saying that you're creating space by reminding yourself that this too shall pass. We spoke about this, that life will happen for each one of us. None of us is exempt from life happening. Things happen, we lose loved ones, we lose contracts, we lose confidence. Things will happen that will shake the core of you. But remind yourself always, this too shall pass. And then shifting your priorities by reminding yourself, contentment first. Yes, it's good to desire more, and I love that. I want you to push yourself to be the very best version of yourself. But are you content within yourself with what you have? Because we know godly contentment is much gain. Or are you busy looking at everybody else's thing and wishing it's yours? Be content with what you have. Say in the chat, I am content with what I have. Thanks, Iti, for putting that in the chat. And then shift your perspective through reminding yourself what you are grateful for. What are you grateful for? So important. And then anything else that is part of your toolkit in terms of helping you align, right? And when you set this time, it's not just writing lists. I'm grateful for food. I'm grateful for that I have petrol in my car, in spite of the prices. Go deep. Don't just be thankful for being alive, my friends. Sit and observe in that moment. Observe your surroundings, right? Observe how that feeling is. Close your eyes and really get specific with what you are grateful for. Name your feelings. I feel so happy and alive. I feel so happy and grateful now that I'm running this 3-day challenge. I feel so happy and grateful that the ladies are engaging with the content that I'm sharing with them. I'm so happy and grateful that when I speak, the ladies get the information and they apply it in their lives every day. I'm so happy and grateful that I have a very stable internet connection that helps me to connect with different women across the globe. That's what I'm talking about. Like, express it deeply. I love that. When I encourage the ladies, they come back to me and they give me testimonies of what is happening in their lives. I also love that the audience is receptive to the teachings and they're able to separate the wheat from the chaff. I absolutely love that. Now go on and on. So I'm just giving you how I do it for myself. There's so much to be done, but remember that the process of finding alignment is personal for each one of us. So you have the moment to reflect and look at the outlook. What were your most important wins in these last 3 months? Think about it truly and deeply. What were your biggest challenges? Today is the 31st of March. Be honest with yourself. If you can do this stuff before you sleep, even the better. I put the document yesterday, so hopefully you are able to do this work. Those of you who got this document yesterday, what were your primary lessons from January, February, and March? Be honest with yourself. What is the most important objective now you want to achieve in Q2? What is important to you? And what a sweet message, Chantal. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lioness. What is the most important objective you want to achieve in the next few months? Think about it long and hard. Do you want mentorship? Do you want coaching to help you move into your next level? Do you feel it's time for you to, separate yourself from certain relationships? Because I'm going to talk about this stuff right now. And what would be your biggest obstacle to achieving this objective? And how will you overcome this obstacle? Ladies, be honest with yourself. What skills, remember yesterday we spoke about mastery. What skills or knowledge is required for you to achieve these objectives? You need to be a master at your craft. It is in the group, Chantal. The document is in the group. So just pull it up, as is the recording for yesterday. I uploaded it for you all. It's inside the Lioness Arising group. And then lastly, now that you've had this time to pause, I want to ask you to meditate on what you've written in the exercise. What thoughts and feelings are stirred up in you? Are you surprised by any of your responses? And why I want you to do this homework, and I'm going to stop share. I want to say this. the homework once submitted, this homework once submitted will put you into a drawing that I will be announcing inside the group on Monday next week. And I will be giving a giveaway at the end. So this is not just stuff I'm giving you to do and file it. I want you to do it and send it back to me. And my email address is on this document, joanne@joannemuturi.com. So whoever does the homework and emails it back to me by end of day tomorrow, you will get into the draw, the giveaway, and that will be announced on Monday. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. And then write this: as I complete this exercise, I am becoming aware that, because right now you're getting very many awarenesses. There's such a word. As I'm speaking, it's becoming aware to you. There's a gap here. I start things here and I don't finish them. There's a relationship here that is not working. I have burned a bridge there. They're familiar. There's a familiar pattern and trend here that I'm not happy with. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? Write yes that we are together, because once you get this, you will be able to do this work. As you have seen, this is not fluffy stuff. I sat down to do it for you last night and made sure it was done so that you can have it available to you, so that you're not coming to this boot camp. I keep saying, when I teach, I'm not giving you fluffy stuff that you can just go on YouTube and get. I want you to have some meaty, substantial material that you can use that will change your life. And this is free content. This is free. I'm not charging you for any of this. I have programs. I'm going to talk about my programs. I have high-level programs. I have masterminds that my clients absolutely get amazing results. But even from the free stuff, because I keep telling my clients, how you treat the free stuff will determine to me how you treat the paid stuff. Because if you're flimsy with the free, how assured will I be that when you join a program, you're going to commit to it to the end? Because this determines a lot for me, even how you treat this, this homework that I've given you today. So I'd want you to send it to me on email once you've done it. Hello, Lydia. And yeah, as you saw, the email address is there, but I'm also just going to type it quickly for you in the chat so that you have no excuse. Oh, I didn't know where to send it to. You know where to send it to. You're sending it to me. No one else has access to my email other than me. So whatever you share is me and you will go inside the giveaway, which I will announce on Monday, because tomorrow is Friday, day 3. I will collect everything, and then on Monday we'll do the announcement for the giveaway. So ladies, we've done the evaluation of closing. We are closing Q1. I have done that with you right now. And as you do that exercise, be as transparent and send me the results as we have talked, please. Now, let's go to the next thing. I want you to know that majority of us, we have what we call our basic human needs. We have what we call the 6 human needs, and I won't go deep into that right now. But one of the biggest human needs, because that's a whole other dimension that I teach separately. But what I realize is that the main one, most of my clients strive, that most of my clients desire, or the one that is their biggest need, is the need for certainty, right? But what happens, this certainty is like, I want to be certain that I'm going to make a certain amount every month. I want to be certain that I will get this result if I do this. I want to be certain that when I walk home, my home is secure. We want certainty. But let me tell you, in this life, it's very hard to be certain about anything. One day our lives were normal, the next day there was a pandemic. And today I was, as I always say, I get the best examples out of nowhere. I was sitting here creating this work and I'm like, I love certainty. I like knowing how much money is my business making this month. What are my expenses? What am I doing in the next week? That's me. I like to strategize, to write my list. I like to know what's happening at any given time, but life doesn't work like that. And the sun is out, as you can see right now. And I kid you not, And Tyra, one of my accountability partner, and I had a call, and she was able to observe this right before her very eyes with me. The sun is out, you can see it's lovely now. And as I'm thinking about my own certainty, I look outside, and for 1 hour, it was snowing, literally hailstones out of nowhere. And then it just clicked to me that God was giving me a sign right there and then, that there is no certainty in this life. That one moment the sun is out, in a minute like this, hailstones were pouring like nobody's business, and the whole sky was dark. And that happened for about an hour and a half, white everywhere. And then now suddenly the sun is out. There is no certainty in this life. Right? How Betty's here. Thank you so much. Yes, please catch the replay. Thank you so much for wishing me all the best. She's one of my clients in my next level on Purpose program. So nice to have you, Betty. And yes, the replay will be available to you. So that's what I'm talking about, certainty. And many of us, when we become too comfortable in this certainty state, right? You become so comfortable, it starts becoming the thing that holds us back. Instead of propelling us forward, it works against us. And I want us to look clearly at how you're holding yourself back. And when we're going to fear, I want you to think, and I'm going to give you a few things that I really want you to analyze in your own life. So the first one is perfectionism. Fear masks itself in terms of perfectionism. Can somebody write for me perfectionism? The need to be perfect is a mask that many of us wear and it's such a mask. It veils what's happening inside. So you're trying to make things perfect, because in you're trying to make it perfect, you can look back to yourself and say, it's not perfect, that's why I did not do it. But I always say this: better imperfect action for me is better than no action whatsoever. That imperfectness is what has built this business to where it is now. I was the queen of perfection. I'm a recovering perfectionist, but now I just put it out there. It will get perfected as we go along. I'm not going to waste a moment of my life trying to perfect that which cannot be perfected. So I want to see that word perfectionism, because perfectionism is a very, very, very sneaky way that we don't get to live out our purpose, right? And it also makes sure that, listen, Tony Robbins says something that I love. You guys know Tony Robbins is one of the gurus in the personal development space. He says something: perfectionism is the lowest standard in the world. Guess what? Because it's impossible to achieve. So you think you're setting yourself up to a higher standard by perfection, but what you're doing is setting yourself to the lowest standard because it's impossible to achieve. Lydia, yes, I see it, E.T. The second thing that people hide under fear is settling. Yeah, you settle. And welcome, Ida, so nice to see you. You settle. So settling for less than you deserve, it's an indicator, and I'm reading your comments when you see me looking down. It's an indicator that you're letting your need for certainty run your life, that you just accept what's there. You're in a mediocre job, you don't like it, you don't like your boss, you don't like your colleagues, you don't like how the work you do, you're just in a state that you don't, but it pays the bills. It puts food on the table, and that's a good thing to be grateful for, but it is draining your soul. You snap at the dog, you kick the cat, you abuse your kids because you're in this state of absolute dissatisfaction because you're settling for less than you deserve. And this can be in anything. It can be in relationships. It can be in anything. You're settling for friends who are less than because you're like, better that one than not having any at all. But that one you're with is toxic for you. They're not helping you. In fact, they're pushing you down. So if you're in a state where you've just accepted it as your lot, it is what it is. right? You're living in fear. You're living in fear because you're not allowing yourself to see what's on the other side. What could potentially be on the other side when you remove all your fears, all your insecurities, all the things, oh, how much is it going to cost, about the money, putting it aside and saying here that one day I'm not going to be here. This afternoon, I've done so many things today. This afternoon, I attended one of my clients and a close family friend's dad's service on Facebook, and the tributes were so beautiful. He passed away last week, and they were just the sharing that was there really tugged at my heartstrings, because I could tell he lived his life so well. Like, he squeezed every drop of his life was well squeezed out. And I want you to think about yourself. Are you okay? Are you okay with your status quo right now? Are you okay with just remaining with all the things you don't like for the sake of just complying? Or do you want one day to look back, you're in your 80s, 90s, and you're looking back and you're thinking, oh my God, I had all these opportunities to make my life better. I had all these goals, I had all these dreams and desires, but I let my need for certainty prevent me from getting such memorable experiences from my life. And a lot of these things are also money related. Oh, it's too much money. It's too expensive. Oh, I couldn't afford that. And then you walk into a Dolce & Gabbana store, you walk into a Gucci store, you walk in and you buy the flimsiest things. But the things that truly matter, the things that could completely change the trajectory of your life, you're like, oh, that really doesn't matter. I'll figure it out myself. What a disservice you're giving yourself. That is what is called settling. Another thing here I want to talk about that masks fear, right, is procrastination. You're always putting off stuff until tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow. Are you God? Who told you you will be here tomorrow? Are you God? Are you taking the position of God and saying, because that for me is a very big sense of entitlement, that you're saying you're going to do it tomorrow. Who tells you you're going to be here tomorrow? Or I'm going to do it when I have more time, is a classic delay tactic that I hear every single time. Or I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, and I don't have the resources. Those are the three biggest objections I hear. Time, energy, money. Those are the three things that stop people from, and all this, it's fear being masked by these things. It's a delay tactic for living in fear. And it's time really to stop making those excuses. And we're going to talk about toxic habits that I've observed in my own life and the life of clients that I really want you to take a grip on. This was me for a long time, and I'm going to be very honest, right? Numbing your emotions, numbing your feelings. For me, I think I have, I didn't go so deep into my story, but I've had incidences. I went through chronic traumatic illness. I almost died. The doctors gave me 6 months to live. And 8 years on, I'm here from a cancer that was going to take my life. But Joanne is a fighter, and God stood with me and fought my battles. And I can tell you, through that whole time up to now, there are many feelings. I've been able to process them over the years, but I was numb. For me, I was just grateful to be alive. I was so closed in around that issue. You numb your emotions. Sometimes someone would ask me, how am I feeling? How did I feel? And I'm like, oh, I'm alive. I'm okay. That's what matters. The devil was going to take me out, but I'm alive. What else? I'm just grateful. Numbing it, suppressing. Are you a suppressor? Are you a suppressor? Do you suppress things? Do you suppress emotions? You can't even tell anybody the truth about how you really are genuinely feeling. I think about it, and that's why I have that woman behind me, right? I look at her and I just love how, that pose of confidence. Suppression takes your confidence away. because inside you're trying to, to push, to quash things and emotions. And that takes so much energy. And anything that takes your energy away, I can tell you for a fact, chips away at your confidence without you knowing. You can look the most confident person out there, but inside there's something chipping away into your spirit. And until you get the right support to get out of that, that's why for me, I don't play with my coaching. I don't play with therapy. I don't play with that kind of thing. People think those are luxuries. Coach, this is not a luxury. This could be the thing that could save your life. Just talking to a neutral person, because when you talk to your sister, you talk to your mom, you talk to your husband, they'll be like, oh, you'll be fine. And like you, they numb it away with you. But when you talk to a professional, they see things that you do not see. There are many times I'll talk to a client and I open my mouth and they just burst into tears because the truth is facing them there, because I am unbiased. I am neutral. I'm not going to consign to your limitations. I'm not going to allow you to play small or to hide yourself under the crook of my armpit, trying to tell me stories, because I can see right through that BS. I can see right through that story you're trying to tell yourself to console yourself. And that's why I always tell people, your mother is not your therapist. Your mom is not your coach. Your sister, she's not. Your husband is your husband. It's your life partner. Your best friend is your best friend. Why are you giving her responsibilities that are not hers? Because what happens is that you transfer these energetic things that don't belong to these people to people who don't deserve to carry them. When you go to your mom sometimes and share with her some things, it chips into her heart, but she can't tell you because that burden is so heavy for her, but it's not the burden for her to carry. You can vent, but don't transfer that to somebody who is not qualified to deal with it. And that's why many people you go dumping all your problems to the wrong people. And then you start giving them baggage, and then now they also need therapy because of you. You know how many times I'm sorting out other people's problems, not their original problem? That when someone comes to me and I'm like, what is it deep down? And when we unveil, we find it's not even their problem. They're carrying someone else's problem simply because they chose to do it without even understanding that it was an issue in the first place. Let's look at this. I am a fighter. Tyra was talking about you. Tyra is my accountability partner, and I shared about you. I talked about her a few minutes ago when I said that 1 minute it was shining, the next thing there were hailstones. And Tyra, you can testify to that if you're still on the call, because I was telling people how suddenly things can shift, and all of us are looking for certainty, but things can change in an instant. And how prepared are you for that? So Tyra, I'm glad that you're here. Chantal says, that's my weakness. I bottle up feelings, emotions sometimes, but learning to get out of it. Let me tell you that bottling is toxic for you, for your body. It's like acid for your body without you realizing. And for me, I was like that. As I said, coming from my childhood, I lost my mom really young. So I learned to fight for my life, if you don't have a proper role model, because I have some of you, my clients, many of you have met my dad. In fact, I'll be hosting him on my podcast really soon. Well, he doesn't know that, but my dad has just been such a big part of my life. But remember, he's a man, he's a guy. So a lot of my perceptions come from that dynamic of being raised by a man, right? So sometimes I think like a guy just simply because he was my primary parent. So a lot of this emotional stuff, I'd be like, oh, those are chick things, those are women things, right? But I'm a woman. I have to battle with these things. And you can imagine me trying to narrate some of these things to him. He won't quite get it, because you know how men can be. He will, but not, there's another thing that a woman will hear that a man may not necessarily. And for long, for me, that was okay, because that's what I had. But when I went into this coaching space and I started speaking to my female coaches and opening up my heart and just releasing all these things, I realized I had so many bottled up things that were preventing me from fully participating in life. I want you to write in the chat, I want to participate fully in life. Write that. And I love this statement that Edith says, Joanne, you helped me transition from 33 years of employment to retirement and self-employment. I will forever be grateful, and I still am. Edith, you know, you're going to make me cry here. She worked for 33 years and she's like, she was retiring and she was like, what next? And we had this transition strategy. But part of this transition strategy was this stuff that I'm talking about. If there was anyone who was transparent with me in every area of her life, was Edith. Because you cannot, let me tell you, the devil will use distractions, such as these pent-up emotions, all these other things to distract you from your destiny. And that's why I'm like, the more open you are, the more willing you are to get supported, the faster you'll be able to live out your life purpose. And now look, she's doing what she was put here to do. And if you scroll up, when I asked what the first Q1 statement was, did you see what she said? She says Q1 was her most successful, was a very successful quarter. Scroll up. Why? Because she got the help. She says the success in achieving business, personal development, and spiritual goals. I didn't say it for her, she put it herself. But this is because she put in the hard work of getting the right support to walk with her. If you don't have the right support system, you will be floundering all over the place. You will be having the same vicious cycle. 1 minute, you're okay. The next minute, you're an emotional mess. Why? Because there's that misalignment and disconnect. And sometimes you need somebody to call you out. Let me sip some of this. If you'd have done it for yourself, you would have done it already. I keep telling people. But when you're still in that same cycle, there's a problem. And Tyra says, nothing is certain except for death. Live life now. Live your life now. Thank you so much, Tyra. And another thing, ladies, is I want to say that stop playing small to accommodate your limitations. So you're like, you know, this is close to the sister of settling, but you just accept anything that comes your way so that it's not hard work. You don't want to do the hard work. You don't want to pull your weight because you're like, that's so much work. But do you want to stay in that perpetual state of dissatisfaction for the rest of your life? Is it worth it just because you don't want to do the work? And ladies, now that I'm here, I'm just going to give you the opportunity because I feel like talking to people this week and I don't take calls all the time. Why? Because, you know, we're in a very busy time, but I want to speak to you ladies. I want us to get to hear what's happening. You know, for people, you want support, you want to hear what's happening. I put in the chat the opportunity to schedule a clarity call with me. It's a 30-minute complimentary call where I'm able to see and hear where you're at. What is blocking you from fully living out your purpose? What is holding you back? And then help you create a plan to move you forward into Q2 so that you can achieve the things that you said. So if it's like Edith, she was like, I need to transition out of this job through retirement, but I have no plan, help me. That's a classic example. I helped her do that, right? You know, there are people who come to me, they have absolutely no idea what their purpose is. It's inside, but they have no clue. So my responsibility is that's what I'm called the purpose cultivator. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go and follow me, Purpose Cultivator. I want to help you clarify, get clarity on your purpose. I want to help you then connect with it, be aligned with it so that you can go and cultivate it in the world. That is how you create a legacy. So we help you to clarify it. We help you to connect with it and then to cultivate your purpose. That is my signature program. Clarify, connect, and cultivate your purpose. But I cannot be able to distinguish where to place your issue without being on a call with you. I will not force you to sign up for any of my programs. I will not force you to do anything you do not want. What it is just me spending time with you, listening to to whatever challenge it is that you have that is within my realm. And if I can help you sort out, and it's a no-brainer for both of us, we will then proceed to help put you into, you know, the whatever program or whatever way I can support. And if there's nothing, guess what, ladies? It's snowing again. I told you guys, this is what I was talking to you about right now. And I don't know how I'm going to turn this screen for you. I can't turn on my computer. I want you to see this. I wish I can show you the snow, because if you can see it, you'll understand exactly what I was sharing. Exactly what, let me see if I can do it for you. If you were here from the beginning, you'll get it, that there is nothing certain in this life. When the sun was out 2 minutes ago, now the snow, and look, even the room has darkened a little. So let me see if I can show you that. Let me see if I can turn this, show it for you. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. Right? Yes or no, because I can't see because I've turned the screen. There it is. All in a second. I've shown you all like that. It just happens like that. Hi, Stephanie. All in a minute, things can change like that. Stop playing. Yeah, it's dark. It's suddenly. So your things can shift like that, the good and the bad. So if you're in your, you know, you're like, Q2 has to change. I need a suddenly in my life. Like that, this, you know, you want things to change like this. It's not overnight. It's not something that will just come like that, but in your head, with a clear strategy and a clear plan, that can happen. I know, just like you guys were here. It's not rain, it's snow. You can see it. It's the white flakes. Maybe you couldn't see it properly, but it's not rain. Now, let's be honest with ourselves here, ladies. We talked about how you are the one standing in the way of creating a better life that is linked to your purpose and your divine calling. There's no one else who can stop it but you. So I'm going to share with you 10, are they 10? I think 10, or yeah, 10 super toxic habits that you need to quit in this Q1 before you go to Q2 to make room for intense progress in your personal growth journey. And when you book a call with me, we'll be able to evaluate some of these things really fast for you. And the first one is understanding the familiar patterns that hinder you from your destiny. And I talked about those things: the settling, the perfectionism, the procrastination, the numbing yourself, the, you know, being a miser to yourself. You can never spend money on anything for yourself because you think everything is a waste of money. Those are tendencies, those are familiar patterns that are very toxic and that will not help you move forward. Let me turn again and see if it will show you. And it doesn't matter. I need to teach. I have 10 things I need to speak. It's now a lot. Like, it's just white. It's just pouring. Let me see if I can show you guys again. I hope you can see. It's very, 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 it's not. Anyway, let's continue. Let's continue. Familiar patterns that are inhibiting you: the perfectionism, the settling, the procrastination, the numbing yourself, the settling, the playing small. That playing small can be very disastrous. You've seen it. Let's see. Let me put, so book your call. I've seen someone has booked theirs, book the call, so that we can be able to have these conversations. Let's continue. The second thing is you spend so much time being a consumer than a creator. You're so busy consuming other people's stuff. You're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, and then you go there and you start getting upset because you're looking at content that doesn't help you better your life in any way. You sit and watch videos that are going to depress you. You go start reading on Syria and of course, and then now you're in Ukraine, and then you go and read about the rising fuel prices, and that in no time the cooking oil has gone up to I don't know what price, and you go and start depressing yourself by reading this stuff over and over again, and then you pull out your payslip, and then you're like, oh my God, will I be able to survive? And all this is because you're consuming this stuff rather than creating. Why wouldn't you sit and ask yourself, okay, things look thick in this way. How can I create more income? How can I sit and get the support so that I can get more money so that when these things are happening, I'm protected and I'm cushioned? That's the better question. So you're not operating from a place of oh my God, things that we are coming to the end of the world. Yes, these are the last days. Yes, they are. They're the last days, but what are you going to do about it? You're here and right now. You've not been taken in a rapture yet. You've not gone anywhere. You still have to feed your kids. You still have to live out your calling. But now when you go putting yourself in those environments that are going to make you feel so much worse, it's very toxic. So become more of a creator. Ask yourself, how can I sat with my client this morning and we spoke about so many things about how she can make money. Right? And there's an exercise that I usually do in my coaching programs, and people are able to find ways to make money really quickly. Right? I'm not teaching business here, but I'm teaching facts, because inside each one of us, we have something that we know, but sometimes we quash it down because we don't feel safe enough to express it to the world. And that is your money maker. And you're sitting on your money maker. My client said it has always been right under my nose, but I've been shoving it away because I didn't feel capable. I didn't think I can do it. And you remember yesterday we talked about that. Do you feel adequate enough to do this thing? Is so heavy. It's incredible how we spoke. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, am I a prophet? I don't think that's the word, but God speaks through me in ways that surprise me as well. But I don't know if that's a prophet. I'm not going to put myself in a thing that I don't know, but I know that I don't speak through myself. God, the Holy Spirit literally channeled stuff for me to say. And yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. You're talking to my inner me, if such English phrase exists. Yes, I'm talking to you. That's it. Because the conviction is coming. You're being pulled to acknowledge and realize those things, because it's not even through the language, it's a conviction. Something is tugging at your heartstrings, Esther, and that thing you should not ignore. And that's what people do. They ignore. They're like, okay, she's talking to all these people. They're all going through the same emotions, but that's not true. Your emotion is yours. Another person won't write inner me. They will write another word. Yours is that one. Yours is inner me. Another one is like, oh my God, this is convicting me. Another one will be like, oh my God, another word. So for you, identify your one, right? And then Stephanie says, thanks for showing us a glimpse of the snowfall. It was so sudden, and that's what I was trying to explain from the beginning. There's nothing like certainty in this life, because at the start of this live stream, those who are here from me from the beginning, the sun was out. We were shining, and if you go back to the replay, you'll see the sun was shining. And that happened earlier when I was with Tyra. And that for me, that's how God manifests himself, through signs, wonders, and miracles. And they're happening right in front of my eyes as I speak. So for some of you, you'll be like, oh, it's just nature. For me, it goes way beyond that. There's another realm that we are tapping into that is outside this call. And if you're spiritual, you will understand. And if you're not, it's okay. You're getting what you need to get, and that's what matters. Let's continue. So we've talked about the familiar patterns. We've talked about spending too much time scrolling on the phone. The third thing, listen, is comparing yourself to others. I am me and you are you. You cannot be me and I cannot be you. If you watch how a lioness treats her kids, this group is Lioness Arising, is because I love the lioness. I was born in July. I'm a Leo, very, very much in love with the lion archetype. Anything to do with the lion, the lioness is my thing, because that power, that strength, that resilience is something that I possess. I am I'm telling you, the winds of life have blown at me. I have been in storms that I never thought I would get out of, but somehow I still stand. I have been pushed to the edge where I thought I would not even be able to see the end of it, but somehow I'm still here to share the story. And that's why I say you're a lioness, not a copycat. You're not here to be a mini me or a little clone of somebody else. You are you and I am me. Be you. So one of the toxic behaviors I want you to stop in this Q2 is comparing yourself to anybody. Your life journey is yours. Please, please, please do not be intimidated by nobody. No person, place, or thing has a hold over you and your destiny. Fight for your calling, fight for your purpose. Make sure that which you need to do, you're so clear, and let Q2 be the time that you're going to amplify it. We talked about this yesterday. If you did, like I said, I launched the podcast, I launched the YouTube channel, we launched my personal development program. We've done so many things in Q1. Now that I saw what I was capable of doing in Q1, do you think I'm going to just rest my laurels? For Q2, I'm going to double my efforts. That is what is called a quantum leap, a quantum shift. Those are the things I desire. Another toxic, super toxic behavior that I want you to consider, if you're doing it or if you're not, be honest with yourself, is engaging in drama, gossip, and any other low vibrational activity. When dramatic things are happening, you're the first one, you're the one scooping, giving out the tea, serving the tea to everybody. You know everything happening in everybody's life except your own life. You can talk about Joanne's life like it's yours, like like my life. Queen of gossiping, queen of poking your nose in things that don't matter, queen of judging people and criticizing them, queen of just nastiness. Like, when bitchness was handed out, you got like 50 spoons. Mean actions, and it doesn't show because you hide it through pretending. Oh, did you hear how, did you see what happened, did you see? But deep inside, those Jezebelic activities that you are doing. And I'm not talking to anybody directly like this, you know what I'm saying. Such people smiling at you, but at the back they are stabbing you so hard. I want you to know who is who in your life. Say, I need to know who is who. I need to know who is who. I need to know who is who. And that's why I always tell my clients this, that before public elevation, there is some private editing that God does in the background. People hardly know what I go through on the side, because that is called private editing. Private. It's done in the secret place, and it can be very, very, very painful, but very, very, very rewarding at the same time. And that's why you had the psalmist David say, "Search my heart, O God," so that he can be able to remove and reveal anything that is not moving you towards your God-given destiny. So write in the chat for me, remove and reveal. If there's any part of you that is just not right, it will stop you from living out your purpose. If there's any part of you that there's a disconnect, there's something here. If it smells like a rat, it is a rat. If it smells like a dead fish, it's a dead fish. If it smells like a rose, it is a rose. Let's not call a rose a dead rat. Let's not call a dead rat smoked salmon. No, I don't know. I just said that from out of the blue. Remove and reveal. You need to know who is who. You need to know. You need to know, ladies. Don't accept ignorance in your life, pretending that it's okay. I want to know. And that's how I contend with the Holy Spirit. Reveal to me, show me in my sleep. Some of the things that are revealed to me in my sleep are incredible. good things and bad things alike. And I'm like, show me. I don't want to live in ignorance. And many of us are happy just to be ignorant there. You're sipping, going to people's parties, and in that party, you don't even know what is being said or done behind your back. That's why it's so important for you to be very careful. And that's why I said before, public elevation is a private editing that happens. But many of us are not allowing ourselves to go through that private editing because we are so busy, distracted by the things of the world to even give God a chance to work on us. Some of us need the circumcision of our hearts. Be circumcised and remove all those things that are not moving you forward, because those are the things that bring out the fear, because you know something is not right. When something is not right, the fear will multiply. That's why you find you're depressed half the time. That's why you find you're anxious half the time. That's why you find you're procrastinating half the time, because there's something you're not looking at. There's something that is not being revealed to you, and you're not ready to look it in the eye. And today I'm gonna say it to you. And I know right now some people will drop out of this call because I'm touching on very sensitive issues, but I'm not going to be the coach who will pretend and hide that everything is hunky-dory when it is not. I'm okay to be the sacrificial lamb in this place. I'm not Jesus, but in this place, we will talk the truth as it is. That is why we are having this conversation within this private community. No salmon. No salmon for dinner today, Rosie. I love that. So where were we? So engaging in drama, and I went to, so the other toxic one was procrastination, and I've talked about that. And then I've talked about distractions, how you allow yourself to be distracted by unnecessary things, and we talked about yesterday. And then number 7 is living in the past. You live in the past. You're not in the here. Oh, you know how it used to be before COVID, you know how things were. Oh, I was in this relationship, the guy was like this to me. Now I'm on my own, I don't even know what to do. And you go into this pity party for your past, a past that you can no longer resurrect. You know, you go back to those good old days. I had beautiful good old days in campus when we partied all night and we enjoyed and, you know, were carefree with life. You know, that was then. This is now. The old is gone, the new is here. And sometimes I sit with nostalgia. I'm like, the folly of youth sometimes is so exciting. Some of the things I did, it was only by the protection and grace of God that I'm alive here to tell the tale. But sometimes I sit with those things in nostalgia and I smile and I'm like, it's good to be naive because you don't know what to expect. But as you mature, be mature. When you're an adult, you start eating meat. You start eating potatoes, thick food. You start eating ugali. Ugali is my Kenyan cultural food. You eat proper food. But many of you are still behaving like you're breastfeeding, or like you're still drinking milk from the bottle, that now you're still having your formula. Someone is shaking the formula for you and putting it in your mouth. No, you're a grown woman. Those things have passed. You're no longer 3 months old, 6 months old when you're still relying on someone else fully. Now you're 40, you're 50, you're 60, you're 32, you're 28, 26, but you're behaving like you're 12. You're still, clinging to things and being needy and looking at everybody else and blaming them for their situations when the person that you need to look at right in the eye is you. Some of you are busy saying that person is toxic, but the toxic person is you. But you're not looking at yourself and seeing that you're perhaps the one who is sometimes I tell people, look at the thing in this room. You're fighting with your mother, you're fighting with your cousin, you're fighting with your auntie, and then you're saying they're all toxic. People come to me and tell me the entire family is toxic, and I'm like, tell me about this situation. And when we go to the root of it, the toxic person is the person telling me. Because how come everybody else but you? Your boss is toxic. Your child is toxic. Tell me. Sometimes you have to look at yourself in the eye and ask yourself, how come everybody, I'm fighting with everybody? The problem is with you. But you're sometimes so proud to look at it that way because the only person who can tell you anything is you. Nobody else can tell you a thing. You know it all. It's my life. It's my life. Let it be your life. Let it continue being your life. And next year, the same story is what we'll be repeating. 2 years from now, same story. 5 years from now, same story. And that's how some of the things happen in life that you ask yourself, how can you're saying that some of these are generational curses or some of these are strongholds. No, it's things that you're refusing to address and look at. Mary, we are not sugarcoating, and thank you. That's why I'm saying we say it as it is. Because I'm not going to spend my 3 days here trying to create a story that is not true. I'm here for 3 days and I'm doing it from the bottom of my heart because I want to help people as we go to this Q2. So me lying to you is lying to me and wasting my time as well. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we all need to edit ourselves. And that's where I'm at. Let's continue. Living in the past. Gone are those days. Oh, I wish for the good old days. I hear that all the time here. Oh, the old days when it's gone. It's gone. We've left the EU. Those of you in England, you accepted Brexit. It's gone. It is what it is. Have to apply for visas to go to anywhere. Life has changed. We are not in those donkey and horse and carriage eras. We're a very different era. Very different era, and you have to move with the times. The next one, number 8, is blaming others. We're talking about toxic habits, and you may need to listen again because I've been saying many things in between. Blaming others and not taking accountability or personal responsibility. We've talked about that, where everybody's the problem but you. Oh, I want to do this program. I have conversations with people sometimes and they talk about a program I'm teaching, coaching program, like now, you're like, I really need your help, but let me talk to my spouse. But I know they won't agree. But whose life is it? It's yours. That spouse will not accept because it's not their vision. It's not their life. So they're not going to see it the way you're seeing it. You have to take a stance for yourself and fight for what is for you. I find so many women caving in to, when I went and talked to my partner, I went and spoke to my best friend. She said, oh, you can get all this stuff on YouTube or you can piece this thing together yourself. But you know deep inside that that's not what you want. You want to get the help, you want to get the support, but you're so busy asking the wrong people for advice. So the right people for advice, but the vision is not theirs. So how do you expect them to see it your way when the thing was not given to them? They are not with you on these lives. They are not with you when I'm detailing these things. So how then can they say, oh, that doesn't make sense? They were not here. And many of women give some other people, miscellaneous people, power over things they have nothing to comment. If you're here and you talk to your friend who is here, you can, but you know yourself in your heart what is for you. You know without a shadow of your doubt. Sylvia, I can't wait to see you. Oh, my friends in the UK, very quickly, haven't, been having this on the back, but I'm running an in-person event on the 30th of April here in the UK. And I'm so happy to see Sylvia here. She'll be attending. So if you're in England, I would want to have you in the room. And, I'm so particularly excited because one of my dear friends is actually flying all the way from the US to attend the live event for the one day. And for me, I'm just so honored, that somebody sees the value in what I teach, the value in the principles that myself and my colleague and peer, we're doing a joint collaboration here. Excuse me. So I can't wait to see. Yes, I can't wait to meet you, Sylvie. I was so happy when I saw your name on the list. And it's good you didn't vote. I'm telling you, it's such a nightmare having to go and queue for things that just simply because of a decision. Yeah. So let's continue, ladies, because this is so important. And then the next one is number 9, the negative self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? I sometimes, I'm here and I drop something, right? And I'm like, oh, clumsy me. Oh, silly me. How could I do that? And these things just pop out of your mouth. Or, oh, I could never do that. As I talk to clients and I tell them, one of the ways to create more visibility in your social media is to do live streams, go and do IG lives. And they tell me, oh, I can never do that. Oh, no, I can't do that. People will negative self-talk. You think even me, it's like I just came naturally here and just started talking. Now you see me talking, I don't even look at the time. I just talk and talk and talk and talk. Yes, it is a natural gift that God has given me, but I have worked on it. I have mastered my craft. And that's why I say you must. And if you go back to yesterday, you can't just go there, just throwing stuff out there without knowing what it is that you're talking about. But you must have a strategy. You must be in alignment. You must be in the right atmosphere to be able to help you. The numbing, the suppression, and all those things are the things that stop you, right, from opening up to the world and really being who you are truly created to be. And then another one is carrying dead weight. You carry things that are not yours. We talked about this earlier, right? Unforgiveness. Someone hurt you a long time ago, you cannot release it. And the statement that I forgive you, but I will not forget. What's that? How is that helping you? True, it's a fact, but you have to vocalize it and even seal it. And the more you say that, it's clear there's no forgiveness, then the person who is, as you know, it's as cliche as it is, the person who is being eaten up is you. The other person, their life is going on. You have stuff that you need to get rid of. You have too many things, but you just can't give them away. Your baby is 6 years old. You're not planning on having a new baby, and you've kept all the clothes from the time they were born up until now. You can't give it away. Or I spent all this money in designer stores. I can't give it away to charity. You hoard these things and you wonder how come blessings are not coming upon you. But you're the biggest receiver of other things. And you're busy calling to the same God, oh God, give me this and the other. Yet you are the biggest block to your own blessing just because you're not giving. Like I shared yesterday. You have the cup and you just, you're not like this cup. If I want to top it up, I have to sip. As long as it's full, I can't add more. Where are you holding? Where are you keeping? Where are you not, carrying dead weight? Dead weight is even people. We've talked about that. You have friendships that died a long time ago. But there you are. Oh, I've known them for 20 years. We were in high school together. But you have nothing in common anymore. Just accept and allow new relationships to be brought. My ladies who are my coaching clients, many of them are here. Many of them ladies, let me tell you this, have come and made their new BFFs through my programs. Actually, one of my clients was telling me that in the current cohort we have of my mastermind, that they actually they've convened together and are going through the course material together, and alongside that, they're even doing other things, which I'm not a part of. But I'm so proud of them because it's good stuff. They're watering each other, they're encouraging each other, they're holding each other accountable. They are their sisters' keepers. I always tell people, never be scared of letting someone go, because you're probably preventing God from filling that space because it's already filled with something else. So where is there room to add? Let those people go. Let them go and feel nothing. Feel zilch, release, so that you can be able to go to get more. And ladies, as I said, I'm doing my calls. Hold on, I'm doing my calls. So as long since I opened up my calendar, so I've literally opened up my calendar for Q2. So if you want to have this conversation with me, as I said, I can't answer all your questions on this thing, but you're looking for a coach, you're looking for a mentor, looking for somebody who gets it to walk you through Q2, to help you with your, your purpose goals, your life goals, to help you create an actionable action plan step by step to help you to get to that desired end, whatever that looks like for you. As you heard from Edith, I helped her transition from her corporate corporate job of 33 years to launch a business that is making money and that she's doing really well at. For you, it could be something completely different. But, ultimately, my whole desire is not to shove my things down your throat, but to connect with you so that if it's for you, I will know where to place you. But I can only know that because some of you were texting me yesterday asking me what next. And I'm like, I can't tell you what next unless we jump on a call. So I've put in the chat the link to book the clarity 30-minute complimentary clarity call with me. As I said, you're not obligated to take anything. If it's a good fit for you and it's a good fit for me, we will then decide what that looks like and then help you get there. And the last one is boundaries. Ladies, no is a complete sentence. Remember, we talked about asking for the revelation as we spoke about, right? But no is a complete sentence. Learn that when you're operating in fear of the future, fear of the unknown, future of, that scarcity mindset I talk about, that, I'm going to get broke, I'm going to lose all my money, that's chronic fear. You're not experiencing anxiety, you are living it. That's your daily experience. And what happens is that the fear response becomes a maladaptive lifestyle. You accept it. It's toxic, but you accept it, and it influences the way you think, the way you feel, and whatever you do. So to you, you're looking at it as anxiety, but what it will pass. You are living it every single day. And that's why I say fear keeps you stuck in that self-perpetuating cycle of defeat, despair, and frustration. And that's why you go through that loop. You never finish things. You start things, you never finish things. You jump from coach to coach if you've had coaches, or you start things and you dump them in the middle. And then you start feeling sad that you never, and then your self-confidence starts dipping. But I want to say this, the upside, the good side to fear is that the emotions surrounding it, like some of the things that are popping up when you think about what I'm talking about right now, are so unpleasant that you have no choice but to find another way. That's the upside. That this stuff is I'm so sick and tired of this. I have to find another way. That's the upside. That, you know what, I'm going to book that call. My life has to change. So don't let fear control you. I'm finishing here. We're at our 90-minute mark. I do 1 hour, going to 1.5 hours like yesterday. I'm just talking from my heart. Don't let fear control you. And I want you to start thinking about how professional help can work with a professional. Don't just take any quack out there telling you that they're a coach. When we went into the pandemic, every Tom, Dick, and Harry surfaced and said that they're now doing online business. Oh, I'm running an online business. And let me tell you, running an online business is one thing, but really getting the real deal is a different thing. So you better be careful, do your research, do your investigation, talk to people, ask them, who is this? And thank you so much. This is so sweet, E.T. Take advantage of the free clarity call. Yeah, if I were you, I would book that call like yesterday. So how to stop living in fear? Very quickly, determine the source of your anxiety. I've given you so much juice that you can go back and extract. Find out where the anxiety is coming from. To stop living in fear, you must pinpoint the cause of your distress. Again, no numbing, no suppressing, be open with yourself, right? Be honest, right? Right now, there's some intangible concerns, what's happening in Ukraine, right? You're thinking that, oh, will there be an alien invasion from Mars? Or is there going to be a worldwide economic collapse with what's happening in the world right now, right? These are things that they're intangible concerns. They've not happened yet, but in your mind, you're ruminating over them day and night. That stops you from really, really doing what it is that you need to do. So self-reflect and see the source of your fears. Go deep and find out where they're coming from. And then remember what I shared at the beginning. Recognize that life happens for you. Through me suffering debilitating sickness, almost losing my life, doctors have given me 6 months. This is how now I'm living out my purpose, because I realized that I was not only given a second, third, fourth, or fifth chance, but I realized how beautiful life is when I almost lost my life. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. At the time of my darkest points, I thought my life was over. But now when I look back, I can say that all things were working together for my good. And it is all good now. I don't want it to happen to anybody. And that's why I say, get somebody who has had this, don't wait to fall into a ditch to look for somebody to get you out of the ditch. Avoid falling into the ditch in the first place. Once you understand this concept that life is happening for you, it's really the first step towards fulfillment. And then when you put an end to the blame game, as we said, no shaming, no judging, no blaming, those things, and you start becoming the master, get this, the master of your own destiny, what will happen? Endless opportunities will start opening up for you. You will not engage with things that are not for you. You will not fight with people unnecessarily because they're struggling with their own battles. Let them go fight their own wars. You're not going to be part of that. You're not going to sweat the small stuff. Right? If someone wants a certain relationship with you, you want to make it formal, you want it to be official, I'll make it that way. I'm not going to force you to be my friend if you're not for that. You understand how to place things where. And that's why I said, go back, ask for the revelation. Not everybody in your life is meant to have full access to you. No, but they will reveal themselves to you if you allow them to. So be smart about it. So I want you to go back and understand that once you identify the source of these fears, you can change your story. And once you start changing this story, my darlings, as I've said, it's very challenging, but you'll be able to start now getting your way on the path of wisdom, the path of purpose, the path of true revelation, right? Because as you know, at the end of the day, there's no successful person I've ever seen walking on this earth who has never had to overcome major obstacles, none, not one. And the most painful experiences, the most tumultuous experiences can help refine and define what you want. It was out of my pain that my purpose was born. So I know what I want and what I don't want in life. I know what to tolerate and what not to tolerate. You disrespect me, you're out of my life so fast, you won't even know what happened to you. It's as simple as that. Why? Because I've been able to do the work. And I want you to be able to have that power and that choice for yourself as we move into Q2. Failure, disappointment, dead ends, all that stuff. All this can be used as a means of reflecting. And that's why I gave you that alignment document that was prepared so well for you to use, saying that, well, this didn't work. It wasn't the right fit. So what do I really want? Push fear out of the way. Because remember, as human beings, God is so good in the work that he did. He built us to adapt. So I want you to, tonight, as we wrap up March, to embrace your inner strength and use every experience and all the things I've shared with you as a tool to really help you learn more about yourself and what you really want to have in your life. And don't let fear stop you, because right now there's someone who is thinking, oh my God, if I book that call with her, what is she going to tell me? You're terrified. I don't bite, I don't chew people. I'm the sweetest, as E.T. has said. We're just going to have the conversation as it is. So book that call. It's not intimidating at all. If you know me, you know my interest is to serve you in the best way possible. I do not use intimidating tactics. I've never fallen for those. Neither do I use tactics that, you have to do this manipulation. I don't use none of that. What we do is look at the issue as is and then help you chart a course that is right for you. Because one of my coaches says something that I love. She says, if it's not working for you, it's not working for them either. So if it's not working for me, it's not working for you. If it's not working for you, it's not working for me either. So evaluate your relationships like that. If something is not working for you, it's also not working for that other person. So go for that, what we talked about, the revelation. Ask for that revelation and be honest with yourself. So let's leave it at that. I've enjoyed teaching you all. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow for day 3. Book your calls. I want to speak to you. I want to hear what's happening, the insights that you've gotten. And of course, if I'm the coach for you, I'm the mentor for you, I'm the guide for you, I have different ways that you can plug in, but I can only plug you in by listening to what you need so that we can be able to put you in the right place for this coming quarter. Remember, at the end of the day, you know yourself best. And all I need to do is to listen, spend some time with you, and I'll know she's for there, she's for there. Oh, no, this is not the time, you're not ready. But I need to sit with you to be able to evaluate that, right? So the call is there. How do you score the questions? So 5, 4, like that. Sorry, it looks like they were not numbered, but you will be able to know the top is 5, going down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the satisfaction to dissatisfaction. I won't be able to go through all that, but based on what I've said, you'll be able to tell, because I can't go back to the whole document. We took a long time on that, but you'll be able to see. So this extremely dissatisfied, that one would be would be 1, satisfied, very happy with your life is 5, neutral, I think, would be the 3. So that's how it works. And then for the questions that are vice versa, the same. So that should be able to help, but just give it your best. If it doesn't make, if you're not able to collate it properly, just put a summary of what you felt out of the quarter, an in-depth summary, because that will help me as well. I hope that helps. Good, it helps. Thank you. Well, thank you for everybody for being with me. I know we've taken time, but I needed to teach, and we will go deeper tomorrow of the 1st of March. So tomorrow, so yesterday we set the foundation straight. We talked about purpose. We talked about those sweet spots. We talked about purpose as your anchor and as your money maker. And then today we went deeper into the mindset. We went deeper into the fears. I gave it to you real hard. I gave the truth, the blatant truth on what it is. Where are you settling? Where is your anxiety coming from? We went into the mechanics of courage today, and we were able to look at yourself in the mirror. And then tomorrow is not April Fool's Day. So don't say that, oh, she's not going to do a call. Maybe it's April Fool's Day. No, I am teaching you. If you do not come, you'll be fooling yourself, because I'll be here teaching. So come on April 1st, tomorrow, for day 3. So that we can be able to wrap this stuff up. And tomorrow, come for more inspiration, come for more knowledge. And then remember, your assignment has to be submitted by tomorrow, so that I can be able to analyze it over the weekend. And then you're all going into a giveaway box, and I'll be able to give the one prize at the end to somebody who I will pick out randomly. I'll probably, yeah, we'll see. But there's you're not doing this homework in vain. So do it well and send it back to me. Email it to me. The email is there, joanne@joannemuturi.com. I don't have team with me right now, but I'm gonna be my own team, because as I said, I have learned to do things. What needs to be done needs to be done. So ladies, there we go. Joanne@joannemuturi.com. Send me all your responses there. So take care, everybody. Have a good evening. And until tomorrow, invite a friend, let them come, let us learn together, because this knowledge is not knowledge for today. It's knowledge that could change the entire trajectory of your life if you allow it to. See you, everybody. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. Means a lot to me. And bless you. I can't wait to speak to you on the phone, those who have booked their calls. And if you're floundering and deciding, will I do it next week? Stop procrastinating. That already is a sign that you're procrastinating. Do it now. Book that call. And let's get to speak soon. Bye. Take care, everybody. God bless. Bye.